Absolver has quietly become one of the more anticipated games of the year. The martial arts focused online action RPG has a lot of reason to be excited for, and in this video, we'll be taking a look at 8 reasons you must be excited for Absolver. Let's get right into this. Number 1. Players control warrior characters who fight other players and computer-controlled characters across the fictional land of Adol to prove their worthiness of joining the Absolver Peacekeepers. The game's story is focused on the human development of the characters as they fight to find their place in the collapsed empire. The game can be played single player, although the developer's Slow Clap recommends playing online to get the full Absolver experience. Number 2. When you start the game, you are given 3 different combat styles to choose from: Forsaken, Cult, and Windfall. Forsaken fighters are balanced and powerful and can parry attacks which briefly stun their opponents. Cult fighters are strong and resistant. While using the stance, you can absorb hits without being stunned or pushed back. You can also regain lost health if a counterattack is successful. Windfall fighters are agile. They can avoid enemy attacks and leave them open to powerful counterattacks,
briefly stunning their opponent. And regain lost health if the counterattack is successful, leaving the enemies open to a powerful counter.
Number 3. One of Absolver's key elements is the deep character customization system to take advantage of. Even though you can't see your character's face, there are a ton of clothing options and masks to make each character unique in the world. Players will gain even more gear as they progress and can use the gear to adapt their character's stats and make the character really feel like their own.
In combat trials, each item has a specific weight and defensive parameters that warriors must take into account. Heavier equipment will be more protective, but will also slow down the player. Some attacks will also be more efficient if they are performed with light gear equipped. With thousands of possible combinations, prospects will be able to choose the equipment that fits both their preferred playstyle.
Number 4. Another major element of Absolver is the combat deck. Each player has their own, and it's a list of attacks the player can use while fighting. These attacks are divided into 4 different stances which represent the player's orientation relative to the opponent. Each stance has different attacks, and some attacks will naturally flow from one stance to another. Either way, each move will always chain fluidly with one another while shifting from one stance to another. The combat deck is also fully customizable, allowing you to create your own unique fighting styles.
Unpredictable. In each of the 4 stances, prospects will choose a sequence of attacks and an alternative attack. Alternative attacks can be used at any time to break a sequence and bring the prospect in another stance.
Number 5. Weapons can be found around the world and picked up for use in combat or taken from opponents by disarming them with a series of devastating strikes. Once players reach a certain level, they can unlock the ability to unfold a weapon on command during combat, which uses tension shards. These are a rechargeable resource illustrated as floating gems behind the player. When you summon the weapon, it can break from heavy use but can be resummoned later. Weapons can also be knocked from the original user's hand and picked up by anyone. The weapon will then use your own movesets in that instance.
Combat changes your combat deck, making it harder for your opponent to anticipate your movements. Weapon attacks inflict more damage than bare hands, while also adding in cut damages, which chip away your opponent's health, even while they are in a defensive guard. Take heed. Weapons can break if used for too long, and warriors can pick up the weapon and use it against them. The ruins of the Adol Empire can quickly become an unforgiving battleground.
Number 6. As far as exact gameplay modes go, Absolver will support 1v1 PvP with a plan to add 3v3 as well as a spectator mode after launch. Slow Clap is also promising ranked play as well as other content such as new moves and combat styles later on. These will be delivered in free updates over the next 6 months after release. There's no intention of a season pass.
Mark ones that stand between them and absolution. Train, spar, and share the burden as a team is one of the best ways to experience the world of Absolver. Challenges will be introduced regularly. Ranked matches and tournaments can be expected in the future, as well as new combat trials, pitching teams of 3 warriors against each other. Adaptability will be key to progress amongst the ranks of Absolvers.
Number 7. One of the biggest features in Absolver is the mentor-student relationship system. An advanced player in the game can create their own school in the game and teach others, allowing them access to their unique combat deck. Since the game has many moves you can combo in any way you feel like, it makes each mentor's approach in teaching their students different from the rest.
More experienced and battle-hardened warriors will be able to take other prospects under their wing as students, becoming a mentor to those that choose to follow and learn from them. While studying under a mentor, students may use the combat deck of their master, gaining temporary access to their master's moveset, even if it features attacks they haven't learned yet. Other rewards will be unlocked as students progress in the ranks of their chosen school.
And finally, number 8. While playing Absolver, you will encounter human players and AI. When you come across other players, the game will have various activities you can do together. You can both join a PvE co-op session, start a practice duel, or fight one another in a serious PvP fight. Co-op in the game is available for up to 3 players. By playing in these encounters, you'll be able to learn new moves by seeing others practice them. The developer Slowclap says that these moments will happen seamlessly and naturally as you roam the world, but you can also go to an altar to invite specific players to your session, if they're on your friends list or you recently had an encounter with them in the world.
Adventure and exploration is but one part of a prospect's journey to absolution. Access through the altars scattered in the world, combat trials pit you against a random challenger, or a familiar combatant from your roster of friends. These 1 versus 1 matches are more formal in nature. You will have to strike your opponent down 3 times to be declared the victor. Under the close watch of the guides, the combat trials will evolve over time, and new challenges will be introduced regularly.
So that wraps up 8 amazing things you must know about Absolver. The game's release is coming up very quickly on August 29th for PS4 and PC. What do you think? Are you excited for Absolver, or do you not see the game's potential? Comment your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.